MKBHD here. And this is the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Snapdragon 865, 8 gigs of RAM, a 21:9 widescreen display, triple cameras, a 4000 mAh battery, an all-glass and aluminum frame, expandable storage, water resistance, wireless charging, Android 10, a high-quality haptic motor, fingerprint reader and the power button, and just a clean, minimal, modern form factor. Flagship stuff, right? Why don't more people buy these? Like, Sony's had a roughly 0% market share in smartphones for the past couple of years in a row, and I think I have an answer. But first, let me show you what is actually so good about these. So the biggest one for me is this display. So I've mentioned this is a 21:9 aspect ratio. You know, it keeps it a bit narrower. And I mentioned the thin bezels. They're not concerned with going all the way to the edges and ending up with a notch or a hole punch or something. And that actually lets them keep the front-facing speakers. So that's awesome. But this screen is also 4K. So it is a 6.5-inch 4K screen in your pocket. This phone also keeps that headphone jack, so they didn't have to do that. And we all know they didn't have to do that because Sony clearly already sells some of the best wireless earbuds and wireless headphones on the market. There's also easy multitasking on this tall display, and it is smooth and works really well. So check this out. When you hit the button in the middle, it brings you to a multitasker for both panels where you can switch to a different app, or you can launch different app groups, so 2 at a time, or quit out of it entirely. It is really well thought out, one of the best multitasking UIs I've used on Android and I'll actually want to use. Sony's got camera tech, and sure enough, what do you see? Sony is in fact bringing a lot of the tech from their alpha camera line down into these cameras on the phone. Mainly the incredible autofocus, and that's what I like the most, but also a lot of manual control. And photos are pretty good. Very neutral, you know, very good dynamic range. Colors are good. Sharpness is okay, and focus is fast. But then there's also the included pro-level photo and video apps called Photo Pro and Cinema Pro. Photo Pro basically shrinks the viewfinder and gives you full-on camera modes and manual levels of control just like a Sony Alpha camera. And it gives you world-class autofocus, object and eye tracking, your histograms, your exposure compensation, metering modes, all of that. And then the Cinema Pro app is even crazier to me. You get wide dynamic range, 4K video with profiles, with adjustable manual controls, ISO control, Venice color science, manual focus, and even focus racking. This is next level dedication to enthusiasts. But I think that actually kind of partially answers the question we're considering in the first place, which is, why don't more people buy these? And part of the answer is because enthusiasts really only make up a very small percentage of the overall market of anything, but especially of smartphones. If you want that true high-level volume of sales, you need to appeal to everybody. And these kind of don't. Like, for all those awesome camera features I just talked about, this phone also just straight up doesn't have a simple night mode. The front-facing camera is only 1080p 30. And also, most people who already know how to use and take the most advantage of and really like this super high-end manual control on the cameras, most of those people already own and use their own main mirrorless camera or something like that. There's one more reason that people don't buy these, even though they're clearly pretty cool and they're pretty good, and maybe they should, and that's because they don't know about these. This phone was unveiled in May. So that's 6 months ago when it first started showing up, and I just got it last week. So May, June, July, August, September, October. That's a long time for the hype to die and for a very poorly thought out launch strategy. And you know, whether it is poorly thought out or poorly executed, it just doesn't look good, period. So that's the frustrating thing. It's crazy that Sony can make such an interesting, compelling little phone, and there just be absolutely no desire to share it or buy it or anything. But here's the thing. I'm still rooting for Sony because I don't want to see this kind of stuff die. Either way, that's been it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.